up, Bloomington, and welcome back to the Breakfast Club. I'm Lydia Knoll.
And I'm Gabrielle Valenson. Stay tuned for all the latest. From weather and sports to campus news and entertainment buzz, we got it all right here.
Joining us later in studio today is tech-savvy business owner Stan Mattingly.
That's right, Lydia. Stan has created his very own business and app. You won't want to miss it, so stick around, Hoosiers.
Last week, it went from being in the upper 50s and lower 60s to the lower 30s. But that's Bloomington weather for you, unpredictable. Gabrielle, what can we at least try and predict this week?
Well, Lydia, it's finally heating up here. Today is expected to have a high of 74, followed by highs of mid to upper 60s. And the rest of the week, there are some cloudy days, but nothing like the storms we experienced this past week.
Love to hear it, Gabrielle. I'm getting over this cold and rainy weather.
Same with me. I agree with you on that. On another note, though, Lydia, give us the 411 on Hoosier Sports. What do you have for us this week?
Well, Gabrielle, this past week I made it out to the baseball team's game against Ball State that went into extra innings. The Hoosiers eventually came out on top, 3-2. The team then traveled to West Lafayette to face arch nemesis Purdue. This marks the first time the team will set foot on enemy territory since 2011. Softball, on the other hand, is coming off a hard week after losing to Louisville and Penn State. They're in the middle of a tough Big Ten schedule and will also face Purdue this week, followed by Ohio State. Men's golf took home the runner-up trophy in their first and only home tournament of the year, the Hoosier Invitational. The team was led by sophomore Jack Sparrow, who posted a 2-under par 70. Indiana men's golf will be traveling north as well to Purdue this weekend. To wrap it up, the spring football game is this Thursday at 7 p.m., so be sure to make your way to Memorial Stadium to see your Hoosiers in action for the first time since December. That's all I have for you on sports, so I'll send it over to Gabby for news.
Thanks, Lydia. Ladies First, IU's first female a cappella group performed their last show of the semester this past Friday at Wilkie Auditorium. The show featured all genres of music, from classic rock to modern pop. The group was founded in 1999 with the help of IU men's a cappella group Straight No Chaser. Ladies First has accomplished so much since the late 90s, including several album releases and a performance at the 2012 Super Bowl. Even though the women of Ladies First come from all different majors, they find a common passion for performing. There is a song for each audience member, young and old. The group performs a good mixture of different types of music. Music director Hannah Natty feels that the group has gotten very close this semester. So close that members even got matching lotus tattoos, symbolizing their friendship and the love of music they all share. Be sure to look out for the group's next album, Lady Zoo, set for release in fall 2017. Congrats, ladies.
And now for the most unnecessary part of our show.
The unnecessary update of the day.
What is the unnecessary update today, Gab?
If you know me, then you know I love award shows. Any type. The Academy Awards, Grammy Awards, Emmy Awards, AMAs, the Globes. I can go on and on. How do you feel about the People's Choice, Lydia?
I actually think that they're brilliant. I think the fans are where the money is coming in from, and those are the ones that the media and entertainment must impress. It only makes sense that you would allow them to award their favorites.
Well, Exciting news. The E! Network has officially announced that they will now be airing the annual award show, which celebrates the best in pop culture and is voted entirely by fan bases. The show has been airing on CBS for years, but beginning in 2018, E! will take over for the 44th annual show.
Fans pick the nominees and winners in categories like digital, movies, music, and television.
I personally think this is a smart move for both E! and the People's Choice Awards because of the similarities they both share. It looks like the network's president, Adam Stotsky, feels the same way. He stated in a recent release, quote, "Rooted in pop culture and celebrity, the People's Choice Awards is a natural extension for E! and we are excited to evolve and supercharge this fan-centered event for the next generation in a way that only E! can," end quote.
The show will air on 17 international channels, extending to 153 countries. That's a lot.
It is a lot. I have no doubt that the 2018 People's Choice Awards will be one for the books.
I would say this award show is the most unnecessary one of them all, right?
Well, but at the end of the day, it's the people choose, so it's necessary.
After this, we have business owner and tech-savvy Stan Mattingly joining us in studio for an interview.
Stay tuned.
Welcome on to our show, Stan. We're very excited to have you here today.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Of course.
Not gonna lie, Stan, I was doing my research on you, and can I just say you're so impressive. Seriously, this boy has done everything. And you're only a sophomore, so that's amazing.
So tell us a little bit about your companies, how they started, when you started them.
So I've been in entrepreneurship since I was probably in kindergarten, but I started my first legitimate LLC when I was a senior in high school, and that is a landscaping company that I run in the summer. It's a seasonal-based business, and then this past winter I started a software company that does timekeeping for service-based businesses called Paycrete.
Very cool.
Mm-hmm.
What has been, your biggest obstacle that you've faced as a business owner?
People always told me, but it's definitely having employees. That's kind of the first thing you want to jump into, but having employees is honestly one of the most complicated things because you get into a lot of tax regulations and you find out, you have to report things monthly and then you have to report things quarterly and you also have to report things, at the end of the year sending W-2s out, and that's kind of something I'm doing right now and kind of struggled with as a single owner LLC. It's tough to kind of self-teach yourself those things because they don't send you a manual on anything like that. So
yeah, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Describe the process of building your own company, how you got it to become an LLC.
Yeah, so that's honestly one of the things I always like to preach about is how easy it is. Founding the LLC or like creating the actual business entity is the easy part, and I think a lot of kids don't know that, and that's what I like to tell people because it's really not that hard to actually do it. Filing is an online process at this point, so you can have an LLC within 15 minutes for $50.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
Very
That's pretty
cool.
cool.
Mm-hmm.
Who in your life would you say has been, most supportive about all of this?
Most supportive, probably my family's always owned a business. My dad started a concrete company that my brother now owns in 1987. And just growing up, kind of seeing my mom, my dad work hand in hand. My dad was always the people person, and my mom was always the behind the scenes books kind of person. And just growing up and seeing that was really cool. Another influence was my grandpa, who I never got to meet, but he had some pretty big businesses in manufacturing and different kinds of things, boxes, and just kind of hearing his legacy and seeing some old business cards and things like that really got me interested in all what I'm doing right now.
Would you say that you got the idea of the business from your dad and through his business?
Kind of. I mean, I would say my dad influenced me to just work ethic wise and just College Deeds, the first businesses that I started, is obviously a labor-based business, and I really wanted to start that one because it was simple, but it's also kind of unique in that we hire college students and blah blah blah. But it's still really at its simplest form, it's literally just a landscaping company. And you see people starting these tech companies in California and blah blah, and I don't think students really realize that you can start anything. Just start a random handyman business, and you know,
Yeah.
at its simplest form, you're still a business owner, and you're still doing really cool things. So
Right.
Certainly. I like that.
How do you find time? You know, balancing, you know, being a full-time student and
Yeah.
owning this business. How do you find time to
it's
balance?
tough, especially with the new one, because I'm in a partnership with my brother on the new one,
Okay.
and it's tough because sometimes I'm sitting in class and he'll text me and be like, hey, there's a bug or there's an error or something, or like, hey, someone accidentally did, you know, whatever. Like I built it in 3 weeks over Christmas break, so it's not perfect by any means. So it, you know, sometimes I'll be sitting in class and I'll have to pull it up on my laptop and actually, you know, do some fixing, because it's in timekeeping. These businesses are relying, you know, by the second, and they expect it to work, and they need it to work, because if it doesn't, they don't know what to pay their guys. So it is tough balancing school and that business. The seasonal one, not so tough. Last year I probably spent a little too much time on it. This year I'm kind of realizing that, you know, I need to do school, and then when I'm home maybe I can, you know, pass out some flyers. But last year definitely took the role pretty seriously of, you know, staying down here and getting the word out at the same time up there, but it helped a lot.
So you developed the app for your timekeeping one all on your own? Did you have help for that?
Yeah, I did it on my own. But so what you can do is there's like some templating services you can pay for the front end, which is like what you see, like what you would see if you went on the website. But yeah, I did. It was pretty grueling, and I didn't really keep track of the hours. If I did, I think it would be a pretty crazy value. I didn't really do much on Christmas break. It was just sitting behind a computer and kind of doing my thing. But
Amazing.
Yeah, that's some hard work.
yeah, no, it's cool to see the result though. Like, I mean, it's like I said, it took 3 weeks, and it's not what it could be. But to hear from businesses what an app that I built, you know, that anyone could really learn what I did. I mean, I've had programming history, but the framework that I used to build this app, I taught myself on Christmas break too. So to, you know, if there's one thing I would wish people knew, is that, you know, there's resources online to do, you know, anything. You don't need massive amounts of funding to do something really cool. And hear a business say like, hey, we're getting so much more insight on, you know, where our guys are at, and not only where they're at, how long they're working, but what they're doing. And then they can run reports on jobs and see, you know, break down hours based on category and things like that. And in the service-based businesses, that's very, very valuable to an owner.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's amazing. It sounds like you have a lot going for you, and we wish you the best as you move forward.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you.
Seriously, thank you for coming here and talking with us. And you are amazing. So just keep doing what you're doing.
Thanks a
Good
lot.
luck with
Yeah.
everything. So yeah.
Wonderful time. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you to all of our loyal viewers for tuning in each Monday. Be sure to stay in the loop with us all week by following B-Town B-Fast Club on all social media.
And don't forget to use the hashtag BTownBFast. We want to hear your thoughts and feedback.
See you next week, everyone.